Thank you for joining us at this time. You're watching news analysis live on Politics and Business TV. The top stories. Federal government redoubles efforts to ensure out-of-school children. Bank predicts growth in gross domestic product. Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited constructs 150 million liters storage facility for Port Harcourt refining company. Details coming up shortly. Welcome back. I am OMOHEFE Peace OSEMERE. Now, the Minister of State for Education, Yusuf Sununu, says the federal government has redoubled efforts to ensure out-of-school children are returned and retained in school. The minister, who stated this at the inauguration of a national campaign on out-of-school children 2024 for 4 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, said this was to achieve a better society. Represented by the Federal Ministry's Deputy Director, Basic Education, Joy Onoja, Sununu said a significant number of children in the country were still deprived of their fundamental rights to education. He, however, assured that the ministry would identify such children, ensure their enrollment in formal and non-formal learning centers close to their homes, and provide school materials for continued learning. The World Bank has predicted the Nigerian gross domestic product will grow by 3.7% in 2025. The World Bank, in its latest report titled Global Economic Prospect, Subdued Growth, Multiple Challenges, projected that the African largest economy will improve by 3.3%, up from a projected 2.9% for 2023. The report stated that growth in Nigeria is projected at 3.3% this year and 3.7% in 2025. The Washington-based bank attributed the momentum to the gradual realization of the current macro-fiscal reforms. Since the assumption of office by President Bola Tinubu, he has initiated some reforms which include removal of fuel subsidies and foreign exchange rate harmonization, with a focus on infrastructure development, manufacturing, and technology. Now, the price of 1 kilogram of rice increased year on year by 81% to 917 naira in December 2023 from 506 naira in the corresponding period of 2022. The NBS disclosed this in its selected food price watch for December 2023. NBS also said the average price of 1 kg of brown beans rose by 48.5% year on year to 870 naira in December 2023 from 586 in December 2022. Similarly, the average price of 1 kg onion bulb rose by 122.9% year on year to 971 in December 2023 from 435 in December 2022. Also, the average price of 1 kg of tomato rose by 77%, and it also got to 458 from 458 naira in 2022. The police command in the Federal Capital Territory said the explosion that occurred near a refuse dump outside the Bureau of Public Enterprise premises in the Maitama area of Abuja was not bomb-related. The police public relations officer in the FCT, SP Josephine Ade, who said this in a statement, added that a rapid response team and members of the explosive ordnance disposal unit were deployed to assess the situation after the alleged incident yesterday. According to her, preliminary findings indicate that an overheated metal refuse container activated under intense heat exploded and injured 2 of the refuse evacuators. Ade, who said the affected refuse evacuators were currently receiving medical attention at Maitama General Hospital, further urged the public to exercise caution and refrain from using metal refuse bins. You're watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Still to come, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, says Nigerians will heave a sigh of relief from the sustained rise in prices of goods and services when the implementation of its inflation targeting policy begin to yield results. Details of this and more after the break. Do join us again. Welcome back. You are watching News Analysis live on Politics and Business TV. Now, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, NESG, along with the World Bank, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, and economy experts have indicated that the nation's economy will achieve some stability, leading to a reduction in the inflation rate, unemployment, and poverty. Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, speaking at the launch of the NESG 2024 macroeconomic outlook, hinted that Nigerians will heave a sigh of relief from the sustained rise in prices of goods and services when the implementation of its inflation targeting policy, measures to improve liquidity in the forex market, as well as expected reduction in pump price of petroleum products begin to yield impact. The Apex Bank also projected that these measures will trigger improved productivity in the agricultural sector and a reduction in the inflation rate to 21.4% in 2024. Meanwhile, the NESG projected a decline in unemployment to 5.0%, while the poverty level reduces to 41.5% if implementation succeeds in a combination of ongoing reforms and other measures outlined in its economic transformation roadmap. These measures, according to the NESG, will help the economy achieve a gross domestic product, GDP, a growth of 3.5%, an increase in external reserves to $40 billion, decline in inflation to 21.5%, while the exchange rate will stabilize at 900 naira per dollar in the official forex market. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has constructed a 150 million liters storage facility for the Port Harcourt Refining Company ahead of full operations of the plant. It said the storage facility was constructed in Atlas Cove, adding that the company had signed build, operate and transfer agreements for the rehabilitation of pipelines and storage facilities nationwide. It was gathered that the Atlas Cove Jetty is a major installation of NNPCL for receipt and distribution of petroleum products to the western part of Nigeria and is located within the precincts of Takwa Bay in Lagos State. Now, President Bola Tinubu on Monday justified his cabinet of 47 ministers. According to him, the number reflects the diversity of roles required to run an efficient government. Special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, revealed this in a statement signed on Monday titled President Tinubu to CAN Leadership. We will continue to fight corruption. Nigeria is ours to fix. Tinubu, while acknowledging criticisms over his heavily staffed cabinet, however, said merging portfolios would only heap some officials with more burdens than they can bear. Here is a composition of the sizes of cabinets in previous administrations. Former President Muhammadu Buhari, during his first and second term, appointed 36 and 42 ministers respectively. And then in 2011, his predecessor, Jonathan, named 33 ministerial nominees, retaining 9 persons from the Yaradua administration. In 2007, Yaradua appointed 39 persons to his cabinet, and then Obasanjo initially named 42 ministers in 1999, but later shed 2 roles. He also reduced the number of ministries to 20 before the end of his tenure in 2007. However, Tinubu named 48 ministers. Assessing Tinubu's cabinet and the cost of governance is our focus today on News Analysis, and I have my guest, who is a public affairs analyst, Comrade Salihu DANTATA. He joins us live from Kano State. Good afternoon to you, Comrade. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello, comrade. Can you hear me? Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Hello. Comrade, are you there? Hello, good afternoon to you. All right. It appears we're having a little bit of network, issues, but I guess we'll just take this quick breather, and when we come back, hopefully we're able to. Okay, I understand it's back on the line. Comrade, good afternoon to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much for your time once again. Now, let us assess Tinubu's cabinet and the cost of governance. I mean, this has actually been sparking a lot of, reactions and also concerns are already brewing, coming from different quarters. Why is the cost of governance so expensive?
Well, when we test Tinubu's administration, we'll be able to know that in the first place, it started in a way Nigerians least expected. Number one, it commenced with the removal of fuel subsidy, which hitherto made the prices of goods and services to go high, including transportation and other means of livelihood in the country. And when we talk about cost of governance under his administration, don't forget there were certain, measures he brought in place known to the system that he operates. Again, there are committees at the inception of the administration that were brought on. There is those of the OBAZE and the OEMOHEFE for fiscal investigation committee and also others. For OEMOHEFE committee alone, I think at the time they took about 4 billion to be able to meet up the committee report, where some of these monies were even sourced from Federal Inland Revenue Service and what have you. That is also cost of governance, because when you set up a committee, it's not a ministry, it's just a periodical committee that will see and just submit, report of the findings. So why should 4 billion in the first place be expanded for the sittings and the running of that committee? That itself is part of the government's high cost of governance. Then outside that, there was a climate change summit they went with land entourage.
Yes.
That attracted a lot of Nigerians' criticisms, where when they calculated the monies that were spent on those foreign trips for climate change summit, that it will have built some feeder roads and some other important things in the country. Even though after March, he had to reduce numbers of entourage for himself, vice president, ministries, agencies, and what have you, but that was rather very late. So I think since inception, most of the trips he has made has been very, very high, because even the presidential air fleet that gives aircraft that he used in traveling, at least they use government money to buy aviation fuel for it and what have you. Then when they go to these countries, the hotels they stay, what they eat, then the basic travel allowance and also other things which ought not to be.
Okay,
we
so
are taught as pro-democracy activists who fought for stability of democracy in Nigeria. It should have governed like the way the Prime Minister of United Kingdom governs, where they move maybe 1 or 2, 3, 4 people they deliver. Even though we are practicing an expensive system of government, presidential system, but that would have been better if, as Ahmed Bola Tinubu as president still wants to do it. I believe he can do it, but cost of governance under him is very high and he has to reduce it.
all right. Now, what can you say about the size, in terms of cabinet under this administration? can it really be justified? One would recall also that before these, people were sworn into office, the ministers that we have now, there were, calls for the Ministry of Education, for example, to be, probably split it into two, such that we have a ministry, that will cater for the needs of, basic education, and then we'll have one separately that will cater for the needs of tertiary education. But what exactly can you say?
Lies in the purview of some of these parastatals. Then basic ones like from primary, they also lies in hands of other parastatals. And mind you, education ministries are shared between the federal and states. Same way you have Federal Ministry of Education, you also have Ministry of Education in states. They have permanent secretary in the state Ministry of Education, just the way you have the minister of the federal and his permanent secretary on the level there. So it's a shared responsibility. That's why the governors also need to live up to expectation by meeting up goals. Primary education till today basically lies in the hands of state governors. What are they doing to that effect? Most of the times you find them having been at loggerhead with what have you. So if the governors also live up to expectation, there won't be any cause to say you should split Ministry of Education into two, because same way you have Federal Ministry of Education taking charge of federal education, same way you have the state. So I think the governors also should live up to expectation, so that most of the things that are needed. These days also, don't forget about that. You have state universities owned and funded by state governments.
All right, comrade, let me
shared between federal and state. So all need to all hands must be on deck, both at the federal and state.
All right, I mean, while it's okay for you to say that there is absolutely no point in even splitting the Ministry of Education, just like some Nigerians had actually, clamored for, which of these ministries do you think should have been merged, if at all? I mean, do you even see that as a way of, reducing the cost, of governance?
Well, merger of ministries does not imply reduction in cost of governance. What basically reduces cost of governance is one, their mode of transportation. Because when you observe, directors and ministries, permanent secretaries, ministers, the routine of vehicles they move with, those vehicles, the way they are procured with high price, also the fueling and what have you. Then again, some of the day-to-day things they do also are things that makes the cost of governance to be high. But if you want to reduce it by 50%, their mode of transportation must be looked into first. In a situation where a minister is moving with 4 vehicles at the expense of the military, it's a high cost of governance. And the situation where permanent secretary is moving with 2, same way, then and others. So they should start from that. Then again, their flight reservation to maybe domestic and international, they are also cost of governance. Then the hotels they stay, particularly abroad or even domestically, all these things are what makes cost of governance to be high. But the matter of ministries cannot reduce that, because let me give you three factual in the Buhari administration. Only him was in charge of works, power, and housing. You can remember vividly that Nigerians were even complaining. So the workload on him was even too much, where he had to develop gray hair. But the moment the ministries are the way they are split. Even housing, look at the Minister of Housing now, Dankiwa, the wonderful job is doing. Look at Minister of Works, Umai, the wonderful thing. Then the power to what he has started and what have you. So the issues we are saying is that the way the ministries are, every of the minister will be able to be given performance evaluation at the end of the day. So I do not succumb to merger of these ministries. That cannot reduce cost of governance. What can reduce cost of governance are the ideas I gave to you.
Okay, so I mean, obviously, you already threw your weight behind the president, saying that merging these ministries would bring about, underperformance. And, let's also bring in, another perspective. The fact that some of these ex-governors still, enjoy some sort of, royalties or entitlements. Can we also attribute that to the reason why cost of governance is pretty expensive?
Well, I know there are certain steps that have been taken to abolish that a former governor enjoying pension, enjoying other things. It's not only the former governors. When you observe, even at the federal level, Nigerians sometimes, when we are criticizing, we don't look at the foundation and the root. Don't forget, for every former head of state and president in Nigeria, there are certain things they enjoy every year and every 2 years. Like it is a standard that in every 2 years, their automobiles, that is vehicles, must be changed. There is also a law in place that every time there are time duration where their homes have to be renovated, and there are certain entitlements enjoyed till they die. How many Nigerians have questioned that? So if at the federal level, a former head of state and former president is enjoying that, and a state government level now, the former governor is also saying, since they have done it at the federal level for former head of state and president, let it be done for governor. Who is that to challenge that? So it also makes cost of governance to be high, but if it must be corrected, then it has to be corrected from the federal level. We are not saying that they shouldn't give certain entitlement to former president and heads of state, but it is too high. If you hear the outrageous amount is enough to create social security and give certain education intervention to Nigerian students.
But comrade,
what mostly make cost of governance to be high are the things through, like there are trips, foreign trips, local trips, then there are movement. Like for example, now a governor is moving with about 20-something convoys. Those of the escorts of the police, GSS themselves and others. Then it must be our ministers also. The president himself, look at the routine of his convoy and what have you. Then you also have those in high commissions, embassies and what have you. Nigeria is also footing their bills of transport and other logistics. Look at also all these things we ignore are the things that makes some government be high. If you reduce most of this thing, you see that Nigeria has saved a lot of money.
Okay, so comrade, let me come in real quick. If you can hear me, I mean, quite frankly, you are saying that there is absolutely nothing wrong, with paying some sort of, dues to ex-governors and heads of state, as it were. But then, don't you think that is the reason why politics has, become a do or die affair in the country? Comrade, are you there? Hello.
There are many factors that make politics to become do or die affair in the country. One, you go there before you come out rich. Yes, I'm with you.
Okay, please go ahead.
Are you with me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay. There are many factors that makes politics to become do or die in Nigeria. Number one, people go there poor, they come out rich. Let's start from even local government that is in rural area. You find out that when a chairman is elected, comes there, the house he was living in before getting into office now changes. He now change of houses, car, building, this and that. That also, that is corruption. It makes them to do anything they want to do to go there. They now come to governor, come to senator, House of Rep member, and president himself. When you go there, the first 1 or 2, 3 years before you get to 4 years of your completion of term, you see there are a lot of things, because there are many benefits there, from the packages, the contracts, the gifts, the opportunities, the influence, and what have you. So there are some of the reasons that makes them to like to do anything to go there. It is too attractive. So that is why we need to find a way of reducing a lot of benefits attached to these political offices. Because once somebody knows that I'm going to become a governor and I'm not entitled to certain things, there are restrictions as regards what I can do to, get certain benefits, then they'll be discouraged. Why is it that it's not a do or die affair in UK? Because when you look at the UK system there, where even the Prime Minister is elected right from the parliament, nobody, you even see them with their back going to entertain. A Prime Minister, Bill Clinton, for instance, in America, after becoming president, it was after he left office he had to build a house. Same thing with Obama, Barack Obama. And these are presidents of the superpower country in the world.
So what would you now say? What would you now say about Donald Trump? I'm sorry to butt you if you say it's not a do or die affair.
Donald Trump was already a made man. Donald Trump only looked for U.S. presidency to make name. If you know the history of Donald Trump in American system, is in the entertainment industry, real estate. He was already a billionaire. In fact, when you take chronicle of past presidents of America, I think Donald Trump was richer than virtually all of them. So Donald Trump's quest for American presidency is not do or die. It is just because he wants to achieve legacy. Because if it's money that takes somebody there, it is going there to look for money. Donald Trump wouldn't contest to become president. Check your records very well.
All right, so comrade, in all of this,
make difference instance with Donald Trump, because he was already a billionaire before he ascended to the presidency of the U.S.
All right, comrade. I mean, in all of this, coming back home to Nigeria now, with all of the sweet and juicy packages that one would enjoy, being a politician, even is politics something you would want to delve into in the years to come? Can you hear me, comrade? Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me, comrade? All right, obviously the network reception is
can you come again, ma'am?
Okay, so I'm asking, can you hear me, comrade?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so my question now on the final note would be, considering the juicy, offer and packages that one is, to enjoy even after leaving office, is politics something that you would want to delve into in the years to come?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right, I'm afraid we just have to leave the conversation there because of, the poor network reception. But Comrade Salihu DANTATA is a public affairs analyst, and together we have been assessing President Bola Tinubu's cabinet and also the cost of governance. Well, that's it for today on News Analysis. Thank you so much for watching. I'll be back at the top of the hour with the news update. I am OMOHEFE. Peace, OSEMERE. Good afternoon.